Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're talking about the Synchro Festival. And I love the Synchro Festival. I love synchros, but I have a little problem. They banned my synchrons, so I can't be Yusei Fudo anymore. So that's a little unfortunate because they banned out Junk Speeder. But we got 6 decks here, and I think the 6 decks are going to make you very happy. I already play tested some of them, and they're working pretty stellar. So let's go over them. The first one, we're going to lead off with Punk, Pure Punk. So, this deck got nerfed. How did this deck get nerfed? The reason why is the fusion's not available, meaning you cannot do this play where you fusion and then use the fusion to special summon Deerno, and then a level 3, and then you go into your 8, and then you bring this card back, and now you have interruption. Now it's a lot less doable. It's still doable, but you're going to have to like pretty much either get Foxy Tune or Deerno in hand, or get Zayaman, which we have like 5 Zayamans in the deck, technically. Technically more if you count the Ogre Dance. And Zayaman can search the Foxy Tune, yada yada. But ideally, you need to also try and get the field spell. So the field spell is pretty important because it's going to let you draw cards, which you're going to draw into your 1,000 hand traps. And then the field spell also lets you special summon. So you can end up special summoning this card, which will allow you at the end of your full combo where you get Dragon Drive out, you'll be able to go into Amazing Dragon on your opponent's turn and bounce some cards, plus having like a ton of hand traps. Hand traps are going to be absolutely vile in this event. I already pretty much got all my points for the event, just to let you guys know. And hand traps are devastating. No one wants to play into Maxi. Nibiru is insane, right? Nibiru is like absolutely vile in this event. Ash is a crazy. Ash will just stop your opponent's combo, like mid combo. So a lot of these hand traps are going to be absolutely devastating. So I think the more you play, the better. I actually do think if you really want to fit into any one of these decks I'm going to show you, Gamma, so Psy Frame Gamma or Gamma with Frame Gear is very, very strong right now because it's just a free rank 8 synchro, which you can go into Draco Berserker. Draco Berserker is pretty much like a semi-negate. It's not really a negate, but it's close to a negate. Because if your opponent's trying to special summon using an effect, you just banish the card and then the special summon doesn't happen. So kind of is like a negate in that sense. But yeah, this deck is very strong. I play tested it a few times. We won pretty much every game we've played. All right, we're gonna go to the second deck. Alrighty, so this is another deceptively powerful deck. Yes, Block Dragon is banned, but guess what? All the Adamancipators are still full power. So unfortunately, you can't do any broken stuff without it. But you guys have to understand, in this festival, like interrupting your opponent like twice will just win you the match, because like the decks are not as consistent as they are in like standard duels. So if you can just combo out to get like 2 negates, which this deck can do pretty easily, going into like a Baron and a Kokumiru, or you can go into a Herald with a Baron. That's 2 negates. It's gonna be very hard to play through. So like I said, it also runs Nibiru. So if you're going second with Max C, people will not play into Max C. If they do, they get nibbed. So, I mean, I don't really need to explain too much what this deck's supposed to do, because, I mean, it's Adamancipators. You guys kind of have an idea. Just make sure, since you're playing with Vernusylph, which is a very good addition, just make sure you activate, you can go into Rap type before you activate the Vernusylph effects, if you can. Because otherwise you can't, since it's a wind monster, you won't be able to activate it. So just saying, let's go to the next deck, and we got 4 more decks for you guys, and they're just gonna keep getting better and better. Now this deck is nuts. So I played against this a bunch. Not this specific list, but I think this is probably the better list that you can make with this. So they put Moye to 1. That didn't really nerf the deck that much. You'd think it would. But this is Sword Soul. We're still playing some Tenyi cards because Tenyi is still like actually pretty good with the archetype. The reason why Tenyi is good with the archetype is, let's say I play Moye, or even if I don't have Moye, let's say I open like Adahara or Ashuna with Adahara. You can special summon Ashuna, normal summon Adahara, and then boom, you can go into a free Shizhao, and then Shizhao can search something, and then boom, you can search, let's say, Long Yan, and then activate that effect. there's a lot of recurrence here. We're also playing one vessel, which is a little spicy. And we're playing the double blackout because I think blackout is just really absurd in this. You could probably play like 3 blackouts, but I wanted to play evenly matches for where you can go second. But blackout's like pretty absurd because, like, remember what I said, like 1 to 2 interrupts like screws over your opponent. Well, popping 2 cards in the field pretty much screws them too. But like I said, the draws with this deck is like actually pretty good. Like, this is not the greatest. This is honestly not very good. But it's still not even that bad. Like, playing Taya and then having blackout is not that horrible. Because then it frees up your board and then you can just gamma too. So it's actually not as bad as you think. Like, you pretty much can negate someone's turn. Sword Soul Emergence with Adahara would allow you to do full combo with Moye. So, and you have Call By. So this is like full combo hand. This hand, I mean, not the best, but we could probably do better. Draw 2. There's the Emergence off of Pot of Desires. I mean, hand got a lot better. It's full combo hand because Ecclesia, and you have Gamma. So if you play Ecclesia, activate Ecclesia to in the Heat Ashes, you can Gamma, get free 8. Full combo. I mean, this deck is probably one of the stronger ones in the format, is what I'm getting at. It's super consistent. The problem is there's no selection pack for Sword Soul, so the deck's insanely expensive. I did hear, I think from the Master Duel meta, that we might be getting a selection pack soon. So fingers crossed. I really hope so, because I do want to build Sword Soul at some point on this account. So let's get to the next one. Like I said, they're just going to keep getting better and better and stronger and stronger. Alrighty, next up we got Ghoti, and Ghoti is the GOAT. It's a really powerful deck. It's virtually untouched, running a massive hand trap package of Maxi, Ash Blossom, Imperms, Andrea running Call by the Graves with evenly matches for going second. The deck's very powerful. It does pretty much everything you want to do. You can go into Ghoti of the Deep Beyond very easily. Now, you could play technically Deep Sea of the Beyond, that version of the deck. But the thing I don't like about that version of the deck is it gets absolutely annihilated by Nibiru. And I don't want to run Nibiru because Crossout's not a very good answer. This deck plays around Nibiru a lot because you don't really get to 5 summons that often. You normally just play some interruption, you know what I mean? Then you have your hand traps, and then you could link climb on your opponent's turn, and you might get the 5 summons on your opponent's turn, but again, that's your opponent's turn, you know what I mean? It's not on your turn, which is, I think, significantly worse. And plus, on your opponent's turn, there are plays you can make as well with Sinopus. So I really do believe that this version is probably going to be better for the event. It's also a lot faster to play. Like, I like playing quick, and I don't want to sit there doing a massive long combo that will just might get Nibiru'd anyway. So I think this version's fine. I won pretty much most of my games with it. I won most of my games with all these decks. So we're going to get to the next deck. I mean, I don't really need to explain how this deck works. If you guys really want to know, you pretty much summon, you want to get Paces into your Banish Zone. If you can't, bare minimum, you want to summon Beautiful Princess or Lifeless Leaffish. You send Shift to the graveyard, activate Shift, you banish it, and then on your opponent's turn, you can link climb, Synchro climb into Aeroponus on their turn. Aeroponus can banish Zep. Zep will special summon itself, and then you immediately Synchro summon into Askran, and then that will at least get you 1 banish on their side. Or you can go into White Aura Whale, like pretend they played a bunch of monsters in attack, which is very often, like especially if people are going second. Then you could just board wipe them with White Aura. It's like pretty much like a Regeki almost at that point. So yeah, I mean, this deck has a lot of plays around it. It's very solid though, because like I said, the deck is like untouched. So it's pretty good. Already, they can nerf it, but it's still going to be one of the best decks in the format, I still think. We have Blackwing. Blackwing is still insanely absurd. This deck can easily put up, like, if you just draw Simone At any point, you can put up Draco Berserker, Hot Red Archfiend, Black Full Armor Black Master, and Blackwing Assault Dragon. Like, very consistently. Which is pretty crazy, because I'm pretty sure they tried to make the event so you couldn't do crazy things like that. But this deck, even at 1, is still going to do it. So the way you do it is you pretty much want a small world. Destrudel's your bridge, so if you banish any Blackwing and Destrudel, you'll get Simone. And once you get Simone, you need another Blackwing in hand, but after that, you just full combo. And it's like, it's super easy to do, in my opinion, once you kind of get the hang of it. But typically, with the full combo is you play Simone, Black Whirlwind searches, Sudre, you normal summon Sudre, Black Whirlwind searches, I mean, you could search, yeah, you search Vada, and then Sudre searches Shamal. You pick Shamal to the graveyard to activate your Black Feather Whirlwind, and then that's the basic of the beginning of the combo. Okay, it's pretty simple though from there, and the deck, like I said, is probably one of the strongest in the format, in my opinion. It's really powerful. But next, we're gonna go to what I think is this is my favorite deck to play, and you guys should spread the pain on the format. So we are at the last deck that I'm gonna show you guys, and this deck has let me climb so fast. It is so absurd and so annoying to play against. I haven't played against this deck yet, but I'm telling you right now, this deck is absurd. So, yeah, Naturia is pretty much untouched in this format. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Naturias have some floodgates. And we got Bamboo Shoot. So when this card is tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps. So you just lock out spells and trap completely. So forget about going into the Synchro monsters. Just negate them. Like, they can't touch them. They can't play Droplet, can't play Evenly, they can't play nothing. So this deck consistently can, I would say, like, decently, I don't want to say consistently, but like on multiple games, I would probably say like 50% of my games, I'm able to get out Draco Berserker Tenyi, Naturia Bamboo Shoot, and set up Sunflower, which is like 2 more monster negates. So it's like 2.5 monster negates and permanent spell and trap negate. Like, they can't play anything. It's not even negate, they can't even play it. You know how funny it is when you negate your opponent's monster effect and then they set 3 and then that's the end of their turn? It's like, oh, okay, so you just lose. Because, like, just with Naturia Bamboo Shoot and the Berserker Tenyi, that's 5,000 damage. You just have to find 3k, which, you know, this is a level 4 tuner, so, like, boom, this plus a level 4, we can go into another 8, or we can find a way to go to a 9 or a 10, or we can even just go into a Psychic End Punisher by searching out Rose Whip and using our Berserker Tenyi to go into Pep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small little combo guide with this deck so you can see what I was doing to people so I could have fun. Okay? Let's get to it. Hello, and this is the small combo guide. I just wanted to show you how to do the Naturia plays. I was saying that might be so crazy. Our hand is pretty darn good. Pretty much any Vernusylph with Camilla is going to be pretty gnarly. So let's do that. So first we're going to activate Vernusylph. We send that. We search Bear. And then we play the Camilla. Camilla is going to send that. I mean, you guys know how to play Naturia. You send the Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree searches our Blessing. And then we are going to play Corella. Corella is going to make it so I don't have to pitch another card. So we can send our Revival Golem. Revival Golem comes back. Boom. We're going to go into our Draco Berserker. Naturia Blessing brings it back. I play the Naturia Mole. Now, I could do multiple things here. Technically, I could go into Naturia Beast, but like I said, I'm going to lock them out of playing anything. So it's not needed. So I'm going to use Naturia Mole Cricket to actually go into Sunflower here. So we send we go into the circle. When I say Sunflower, I mean this guy, Bamboo Shoot. So Circle of Fairies lets us have another normal summon on an insect or plant. So we tribute summon because you have to tribute summon a Naturia. We tribute summon Mole because we can get it back with Camilla. Now, our opponent is absolutely boned. He cannot play spells or traps, and he's going to have one semi-negate, but you'll also see this. So he plays this, so I can bring this back. He tries to activate a card in hand. I'm gonna banish it. But on top of banishing, I'm just gonna activate Mole Cricket. Make sure you do not activate Camille's effect Mole Cricket because you're gonna need it. So now we have Sunflower. We use this banish, so he only has 4 cards left. Some of those cards are probably spell and traps because Speedroids do rely on spell and traps. And on top of that, we're gonna have 2 monster negates, 2 more monster negates with Sunflower. So, and our opponent can't play through that. He just concedes. Bye-bye. And that is how you play the deck. There are other ways of playing where you don't, like, end on a crazy board like that. But, like, even the regular Naturia plan, you'd end on, like, Naturia Beast with, like, Mole Cricket or something like that, which is not bad at all. Because then you can just pitch, go into Camilla, send Sunflower to the graveyard, and then when he normal summons, you just grab Sunflower. Now you have 2 monster negates and permanent spell negates. So you just have to watch out for evenly match. So you kind of have to gauge what's going on in the match. But the decks are pretty crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys ended up playing. But if you guys don't want to play any of these decks too, you don't need to play. I would say play what's cheapest for you, that you don't really have to craft for this event, because this event should be getting the gems you need to craft for actual ranked games. You know what I mean? But hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye.